Hello everyone and welcome back to Techie Life. Today we're going to speed up your PC by replacing your hard drive with a solid state drive. Let's begin. So the first step is buying the actual SSD. Now that depends on your budget. So the first thing you want to do is figure out how much space you need on your SSD, and the second thing is how much you want to spend on buying a new one. So for instance, if you have a 500 gigabyte hard drive, do you want to replace that 500 gigabyte hard drive with a 500 gig SSD, or do you want something a little smaller because a 500 gig SSD might be beyond your budget that you want to spend to upgrade your computer? So right now I'm on Amazon and we're looking at a couple of different hard drives. So for instance, the SSD Plus, these are probably the best value for money hard drives you can get. I personally bought the Ultra 2. I got a good deal at $89.99. So I always look around for a good deal. I'll put some links in the description below on where you can get good deals. But just to get a rough idea of what you can get, the Samsung 850 EVOs, these are pretty good. These are pretty solid drives. I mean, they're a bit more expensive than the rest, but they are slightly faster. The difference between more expensive SSDs compared to the cheaper ones is that the expensive ones have faster transfer rates. That's writing files to the SSD and reading files off the SSD. So if you don't need the fastest SSD in the world, you can probably go for one of the cheaper ones just to start out. And just keep in mind that even the slowest of SSDs are not actually that slow. They're actually quite quick, and they're going to be much faster than your traditional hard drive that's in your current computer. So just keep that in mind. So you've picked the right SSD. It's now time to transfer your data from your hard drive to your solid state drive. To do that, you're going to need a cable that looks something like this. It's a USB to SATA connector, and it basically uses your USB port to connect your new solid state drive, and it pretty much makes your solid state drive into an external hard drive. And the second thing you need is a software called AOMEI Partition Assistant. I'll put the links to both of those in the description below. So first thing you want to do is open AOMEI software and make sure both your disks are connected. So disk 1 is my internal hard drive and disk 2 is the SSD. So head over to a disk copy wizard, which is on the left side. Select copy disk quickly, click next. Select the source disk, which is your internal hard drive. And now select your SSD and tick the box that says optimize the performance of the SSD and click next. Now I've already done this in advance, so I won't be clicking next, but once you do, it'll take you to a page which looks sort of like this. It'll restart your system and you get a page which looks like this. So hopefully your transfer process went successfully. It's now time to put the solid state drive inside the laptop. So start by removing the battery. In this particular laptop, to remove the battery, you need to remove these two screws. So let's do that first. Battery is out. You need to now put this guy inside. So let's open up all the rest of the screws. got it open.
So this is the hard drive. We're going to remove this and we're going to put in this instead. So let's do it.